Some people are not believing me, but there are multiple offers on properties.
Live behind decisions I chose. Peaks feel good and the valleys get low. Chains for the tires in the rain, hail, snows. Like this everywhere that I go, everywhere that I go.
Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. Right now, I want to talk to you guys about where we are at in the market and where I think we're kind of going to go. Let me back it up a little bit. When we were talking last month in September, I was basically saying that in October, I feel like the inventory was going to go up a little bit and we're going to have a little bit of a fall market. At that time, we were sitting somewhere around 13,500 listings available for sale. What we saw happen kind of going into October also was that we never saw the inventory actually come up. So we basically kind of are still sitting around that 13,500. At the same time, I thought that we were going to probably see more buyers come into the market. Luckily, we never even saw more buyers come into the market and we didn't actually see less buyers. Because if we saw less buyers come into the market and we saw higher inventory, it would have put a downward pressure on price. So realistically, everything kind of seems stagnant at this point. We have a couple of listings out there in the market. So what we are doing is, as always, we're calling the agents that are showing our properties and asking them for feedback. I gotta be honest, it's really difficult sometimes to get feedback from agents. Most of the time, the feedback I get is that, oh, my clients are not interested, they just started looking, the things like that, very, very generic. So what I usually do is I start probing them on like, what do your clients think about the square footage of the property? Is there enough bedrooms? What do they think about the area? How do you guys feel about our price? But I'm getting such a resistance on people talking about the property itself, and where I'm seeing it kind of being stagnant, I started asking more questions about their buyer now. So I'm basically asking them, who is your buyer? Where do they live right now? Do they own a house? Do they have to sell that house that they live in? Are they a first-time home buyer? Do they have a timeline? Are they concerned about the interest rate? All of these type of questions, because now I need to find out who is actually looking at the house and what the reason is why they're looking at the house, so I can figure out how we can target this property to the correct person. From that little investigation, what I'm finding out in general is that a lot of the people I spoke with, their buyers are first-time home buyers. They have a pre-approval. They're not in a rush to commit to anything. And the biggest thing I've kind of found out is that the seller is sitting over here of what they want to get for their property, and the buyer is over here of what they actually want to pay for the property. And no one is actually making any movement to kind of come in the middle over here. And we're kind of at a stale standoff. So what happened recently, and I can only really speak to you in detail about the Durham market, and what I've seen here happen, and I know it's happening in other parts as well, but is the properties that are kind of sub $1 million, we've seen people start to price these properties under the market value. So if you have a property that's about $900,000, we're seeing them price at $800,000 or $750,000. That's actually sparked interest of buyers. And now you have a couple of buyers that are coming in because our inventory really didn't go up. So they're still kind of competing for that property because there's not a lot of great properties out there. So if a great property comes up, the strategy is correct around it, they're generating multiple offers on that property. Some people are not believing me, but there are multiple offers on properties. There's a house in Ajax I was watching that I showed one of my clients. They ended up getting 13 offers on the property. There's another one that I showed over the weekend to my clients in Whitby, and that one ended up getting 7 offers. So there are homes that are going for multiple offers, and they are selling over the asking price, and they are going in without conditions. Now, of course, people are concerned with the interest rates that have been going up. What we think is going to happen towards the end of October is that Bank of Canada is probably going to increase the interest rate by 0.5%. I've heard as high as like 0.75%, but I haven't heard anyone say anything higher than that. I think it's going to probably be the 0.5% increase, and I believe at the next meeting before the end of the year, they might even do another 0.25% or 0.5%. The information that we get on inflation is actually a month delayed, so we're not really sure. And the main reason for raising the interest rate is to fight inflation. We have to believe at some point that we're going to bring this inflation under control, and when it does become under control, there's not going to be really a reason to be raising the interest rates. This is just what we think, right? Like anything can happen, but for the most part, this is what we're thinking that's going to happen. And we might even start to see interest rates start to decrease in the middle of next year or somewhere thereabouts. Anything can happen between now and the next 9 months, but that's what we're kind of forecasting to see here. Based on all of this stuff, what we're going to end up seeing is that I think we're going to basically see an even market. We're probably going to see things go back to the way that they were turning. Houses will stay on the market for 30, 60, maybe even 90 days, and you're not going to have that much of a buyer pool coming in. When we see situations like this, and even recently, our experience experience has been is that for the most part, your first offer is probably going to be your best offer that you're going to get on the property. These are things that you guys have to keep in mind in today's market. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do like it, share it with your friends, and while you're doing all that, you might as well subscribe. Until next time, guys, remember one thing: get Cabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.